the shop. I was going to do a quick video here. Earlier today I was doing some maintenance on some of the knives in my collection, and I realized that there's not a lot of information out there on these particular blades. These are Western Cutlery manufacturer from Boulder, Colorado, manufactured Mark I World War II Navy knives. So here on the right we've got one that's been it's been a little bit modified. It's got a homemade sheath. This one here actually has the veteran's name on it, and this sheath is actually a post-war sheath, but the knife itself is not. This is a good solid Second World War Western Cutlery manufactured Mark I. So I'll pull these out here and let you take a look at them. Obviously these knives are in different types of condition. So the one in the center is in the best shape. You will notice that the knife is blued. The only marking, thank you for ducks in the background making silly noises. The only marking on it is Western. I don't know if you can see that. Western, Boulder, Colorado, and the patent number. Now what you'll see is that these are all round steel pommeled knives with two, let's see if I can get that clearly. See where they're peened at the top, because the Western knives, this one's pommel has been modified. The Western knives have what they call a split tang. That was a Western patent. So what happens, what you have here, when you see these metal edges on both sides, your leather washers are actually kind of H-shaped, and there's a space between the two tangs. I'll pull one out here in a minute that doesn't have a handle on it and show you that too. So these are one piece that are connected in the middle. Every single one of these knives, the original Second World War knives, has the red, or the black, red, black spacers. They're blued. This one, as you can see, was blued a long time ago, and a lot of it's been worn off. This knife has been used and carried pretty considerably, and this one has been used and carried and sharpened quite a bit too. So to clarify, when I say that this is one piece, what I mean is that each individual leather washer is one piece that is joined in the middle between the two tangs. Same with the colored spacers. So, as promised, here's a Western knife. This is actually a shark knife. It's not a Mark I. It's a slightly different blade shape there, but kind of gives you an idea what the tang looks like while you see the top and bottom pieces on the tang. This is why it's called a split tang. Now, like I said, this is a shark knife. It's not a Mark I, and it had the more traditional aluminum puka knife looking end on it. But again, the tang is the same. In fact, I'm pretty sure the patent number is the same. Yep. So the patent number on these shark knives, and on the Mark I's, and on the well, they call this a shark knife. What it is a G46-6. There's also a G46-8, which is the Mark II version of the Western knife. So these knives, for some reason, at some point in history, and if somebody has the details, I would love to know it. The Mark I's became known as CB knives. Exactly why, I'm not sure. None of these knives that were manufactured during World War II are marked CB. Now, after the Second World War, Western manufacturing started producing a Mark I knife like this, with the Western manufacturing marks, and on this side it says CB. So that's what I'm going to pull out next. But what I want you to see here are these original World War II Mark I's. Now, like I said, this sheath has the veteran's name on it. That's how I purchased it. This is an original Second World War Western manufacturing sheath. And of course, like I told you, this one is a post-war sheath. This knife came without a sheath, so I had this extra sheath. And I don't like having the blade sitting around without a sheath on it. And this knife, which I really wish I knew the history on this knife, but it has been carried, sharpened, used, modified quite a bit. Like I said, the end on this knife has been modified from round to oval or rectangular shaped, and I'm assuming it was done like that so that it wouldn't catch on clothing and gear. Makes perfect sense to me. And again, it's got this homemade sheath, which I actually think is kind of cool. But you know, I like doing stuff like that myself. So let me pull out some of the post-war Mark I's, which are actually Western model L71, known as the CB knives.